The Mario Kart games are full of Mario-themed tracks, obviously, but in Mario Kart 7 we got a new subcategory of tracks that was a little different from the rest. Currently there are 7 crossover tracks in the Mario Kart series, courses that were inspired by and designed around different Nintendo franchises. These tracks come with varying levels of quality and creativity, and I thought it'd be fun to talk about them today. Mario Kart 7 gave us our first crossover tracks with Wuhu Loop and Maka Wuhu, 2 section-based tracks that both take place on Wuhu Island from Wii Sports Resort. They share the same music, which is a remix of the main theme from the original game. It's kinda weird that they made 2 separate tracks that take place on the same island, but they're both great in my opinion, so it's totally acceptable. The first track is Wuhu Loop, appearing as the starting course in the Flower Cup. It's a more simple track, predominantly made up of regular roads with cars added in as obstacles. You start off by driving across the big red bridge and eventually make your way through a tunnel with cars alongside you. Then you continue your way up the twisting cliff road and finally down a hill to get to the finish line. From what I've seen, this is the more popular of the 2 Wuhu Island tracks, but personally, I prefer the second one. Maka Wuhu is the finale of the Star Cup and has a more grand feeling to it than its counterpart. It's set during the evening just as the sun is setting, giving it a gorgeous orange sky. The track starts with some ramps and mud, and eventually takes you through a cave with boost panel ramps. Then the trip up the mountain begins, and you have to avoid the falling boulders that come crashing down. The track finishes with a beautiful gliding section and 2 splitting paths to the finish line. Like I mentioned, Maka Wuhu is my favorite of the 2 tracks. Although my only gripe with it is I wish the center volcano was more part of the track. It's literally what the track is named after, so it's kind of disappointing that we can't drive through it, or at least glide over it or something. These 2 are among the only nitros from MK7 that have never returned in any other game, not even Mario Kart Tour. I hope that one day we can see a remake, maybe a combined Wuhu Island track that takes aspects from both Wuhu Loop and Maka Wuhu. The original DLC for Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U consisted of 4 new cups. These tracks were then ported with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe being part of the base game on the Switch, and within these 4 cups are our next 5 crossover tracks. The first of these tracks is Excitebike Arena, commonly considered to be one of the worst 8 Deluxe tracks and therefore one of the weakest crossover tracks. And I definitely agree with that sentiment. The concept is cool, being a fast-paced oval track with ramps that switch up every race. It's mainly focused on getting as many tricks as you can, but it's really just driving forward the whole time with 2 measly turns every lap. It does certainly stay faithful to its original game, which consists of the same thing, straight driving with the occasional ramp. I actually used to like this track a few years back, and to be honest, I'm not really sure why. Excitebike Arena just kinda lacks everything that makes a good Mario Kart track. It has an extremely simple layout which doesn't allow for varied driving. The aesthetic and theming is nothing notable, just being a dirt bike arena with ramps and mud. It just doesn't offer a whole lot, although I will say the music is great. I love the classic sound it has to it. So retro. Luckily, 2 much better tracks are next with the iconic F-Zero tracks, based on the fast-paced racing game from the 90s. Mute City and Big Blue, based on the F-Zero tracks of the same names, are both bangers and some of my favorite 8 Deluxe Nitros. Both tracks take place in constant anti-gravity, giving a floatier feel to the races. There are no coins on either of the tracks, but rather pit areas, these multicolored panels that add to your coin counter as you drive over them. Another super neat detail is both tracks share a unique startup and finish tunes reminiscent of F-Zero's music. Mute City is the simpler track of the 2. It's full of boost panels that make the whole race much faster, especially in 200cc. There are some twisty roads and some wider turns, and this really satisfying shortcut at the end that lets you basically float your way to the finish line due to the anti-gravity. Big Blue, on the other hand, is a section-based track. Once again, full of boost panels and fast-paced racing. The second section is full of water slides that even further boost your speed. These things are ridiculously fun to race on, and endlessly engaging with the twists and turns you'll have to pay attention to. My opinion is always kinda changing, but right now I think I prefer Big Blue since it overall has more going on. The musical arrangement is also killer, with the sax and electric guitar constantly bounding off of one another. Out of all the crossover tracks, the 2 F-Zero tracks are not only the ones I think fit best with Mario Kart, but also my personal favorites. Hyrule Circuit is the 4th track of the appropriately named Triforce Cup, and it's lovingly based off of the Zelda series. The track is packed full of references to the series, using rupees instead of regular coins and Deku Baba enemies instead of piranha plants. The actual racetrack is also designed well, with lots of twists and turns that feel satisfying to drive, along with several off-road shortcuts to mushroom through. There's also this really charming detail where a ramp opens up if you hit all 3 anti-grav boosts on the stairs, referencing the puzzly nature of Zelda games. The little puzzle-solving tune even plays here. I've never actually played a Zelda game, so I can't really attest to how accurate Hyrule Circuit is at representing the series. but as a non-fan, I think the track is good on its own, and would probably mean even more to me if I was into the Zelda games. Lastly is Animal Crossing, based on the franchise of the same name. Unlike most of the other crossover tracks, I've actually played the source game here. I'm a huge Animal Crossing fan and am anxiously awaiting for the day we get the next entry in the series. Ironically though, I'm not a huge fan of this track. Now don't get me wrong, I think it's a great representation of the Animal Crossing series. It has fitting music and even has different seasonal layouts that each add their own little details to the course. The floating item box balloons are a really charming reference to the balloon presents you hit down with the slingshot in the AC games. And similar to Hyrule Circuit, the coins here are replaced with bells to better fit the theme. You can even get bells from running into rocks, just the same way you get bells from the money rocks in Animal Crossing. So yeah, there are a ton of really amazing references that make me smile. Two of my favorite franchises crossing paths. Get it? Crossing? Animal Crossing? But the actual racetrack is just okay. It's really simple, which I guess fits the overall chill vibe of Animal Crossing. I think the problem is just this doesn't fit in with the Mario Kart series. It's mashing together a fast-paced racing game and a slow, chilled-out life simulator. So even though I adore the aesthetic and the loving details of the Animal Crossing track, I just don't love the actual race itself, which is a pretty important thing in Mario Kart, the racing game. Finally, if I were to rank the crossover tracks from worst to best, it'd be Excitebike Arena, Animal Crossing, Hyrule Circuit, Wuhu Loop, Maka Wuhu, Mute City, and finally, Big Blue. Well, that does it for the crossover tracks in Mario Kart. What do you think about them? Do you think it's nice to have other games represented, or are you more of a Mario purist? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and until next time, have a great day or night.